Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today in this video, we are going to be looking at deploying Laravel application to Heroku platform. Heroku is a cloud platform as a service supporting several programming languages. It allows us to create an app and you can customize exactly as you want. Heroku also allows you to create free sites, which is really great if you are starting out. Today in this video, we are going to push Laravel code to Heroku. We can either do this through GitHub or we can directly push it to Heroku. So before moving ahead, if you are new to this channel, hit the red subscribe button and press bell icon so you could never miss our upcoming videos. The first thing that you're gonna want to do is obviously go ahead and register for a Heroku account. I have already created my account and I am inside Heroku dashboard. Here you will see something like this. You can see currently we have no apps. Most of the what you do with Heroku you can control within your dashboard. But we are actually going to be doing a lot of work on command line. So for that we need to install Heroku toolbat. Click on this download and install link. As you can see, this works for all operating systems. I am using Ubuntu and I have already installed it. But if you are using Windows or Mac, this is going to be pretty much the same. Here on this page, it is very well documented steps to install Heroku toolbat on all operating systems. You can download the Heroku toolbat from here and install it on your system. Once you have installed Heroku toolbat, let's move to the next step. In the terminal, the first step is to run Heroku login. It will ask you to enter your Heroku email and password to log in into your Heroku account. I'm already logged in my Heroku account, so I can skip this step. Now I'm going to create fresh Laravel application. Let's name it Laravel 5.7 because current stable version of Laravel is 5.7. cd Laravel 5.7. Next we want to push this Laravel app to Heroku. So before that, we will create a proc file. We can either do this by just saying touch proc file on the command line, or you can just go ahead and create a new file. But here there is no extension to this at all. Just look like this. Inside this proc file, we will define what our application runs on dynos. Dynos are basically a just little container within Heroku. So what I'm going to do is say, well, I need some kind of web server. And inside of this, I want to say vendor bin Heroku PHP Apache 2. Or you can say Nginx if you want Nginx servers. But for now, I'm going to use Apache 2. This is a predefined environment in Heroku. And then we say it should run from public directory. Now we need to push this up to Heroku. For that, first we need to run git init to initialize empty git repository. And that is very important because the way we work with Heroku, we commit the changes with git and push this up to Heroku and it will deploy our application. So let's commit our changes. Git add git commit -m initial release. Now how we gonna push this to Heroku? If we see on the Heroku dashboard, here we don't have any app. So our next step is to create new app in Heroku. So for that, in terminal inside our project, we gonna run Heroku create. This will create a new app for us. And you can see this just give us a random name. If we go into the dashboard and refresh, you can see that we now have this application in there. Click on this. Here we can manage it as we need. Heroku create command also adds git remote URL. We can verify it by running git remote -v. Here it is. So to push this Laravel app to Heroku, we can run git push Heroku master. Here you can see a lots of output. Basically Heroku doing all of these things just to get our app set up, and you can see here that remote installation of all composer dependency is happening. So we just wait for a couple of seconds. Now we have actually deployed our code to Heroku. So let's take a look at Heroku dashboard just to see what the difference is now. Refresh. And we should see under Dino formation just here that we have web. Now if we go and open our app, we got 500 error. This is because we don't have any environment variable set up on Heroku for Laravel app. For example, app key. You will find these normally in your settings and you can click Revel config vars. So this is where you would add config variables. You have key and value. So first we will add app debug true. Now we come back and refresh this page. Now we can see no application encryption key has been specified error. So let's add app key. Refresh this page. Is done. Now it is working. Let's add other environment variables as well. We can also add environment variables directly from command line using Heroku config add and then give the key and value. In our case, app name Laravel, app environment, I will say it production. Next, app URL. Our app URL is this one. Next variables are for the database connections, but we have not configured database in Heroku yet. So let's configure database. In Heroku dashboard, we will go to resources. To add new database, we're gonna use this add-on here. There are so many add-ons you can explore. Here we're gonna search for Postgres. You can see we have Heroku Postgres. Click on this. You can see here that we have plan hobby dev free. If you want, you can upgrade, of course. For now, we are working with free stuff. So let's go ahead, provision this. In a few moments, it will be ready for us to use. Next, you can click on here to get the Postgres credentials, or on the command line you can run Heroku pg credentials URL. And here we get database name, post, port, username and password. And we will set up this in environment config variables. So now we will add DB connection, Heroku config add DB connection, and that is PG SQL because we are using Postgres SQL. Next we will add DB host, copy this from here. Similarly, we're gonna add DB port, this one. Next, DB database, next we need DB username, and last we will add DB password. In Heroku setting page, here we can reveal config variables, and you can see configurations we added from command line is here. If you need to modify any of these, then you can modify it from here. Now we have all database credentials set up. Next we need to run Artisan migrate command to create tables in Postgres database. There are a couple of ways to do this. We can say Heroku run and give the full command that we want to run. In our case, we can say php Artisan migrate. Or we can say Heroku run bash. What this will do, it will put us into the command line for Heroku server. So when I list here you can see our Laravel application files. If you are running a lots of commands, then you can run Heroku run bash. But for just one command, it is very easy. We just go and run Heroku run whatever you want to run. And here we will say Heroku run PHP Artisan Migrate. It has created tables in the database. Now to test it with Laravel app, let's run PHP Artisan makeauth to generate journal scaffolding for authentication system in the Laravel application. Authentication scaffolding generated. Git status. This will tell us the status of journal untracked files. Next, let's commit these files. Git add, git commit authentication. Now let's push this to Heroku. Git push Heroku master. Now Laravel application is deployed. So let's test it out. So in browser, refresh this page. Here we got login and registration links. So let's start register a new account and see what happened. Harish at example.com, password. It just works as normal. And that is pretty much it. So now we know how to deploy Laravel applications, set up database, and adding configuration variables in Heroku. And we also know how to run commands using Heroku. If you like the tutorial, hit the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe us. See you soon in the next upcoming video.